Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to once again to another Call of Duty mobile video today. So it should be a lot of fun because what we're going to be going over is some newly leaked weapon skins as well as some new weapons that we can go and anticipate in a Call of Duty mobile. Now these aren't rumored weapons or weapons that we would like to go and see. These are actual weapons that were found in the game files for Call of Duty mobile. So everything that you're going to be seeing on screen right here is going to be in Call of Duty mobile. Whether or not that happens within the next couple days from now or the next couple months from now, nevertheless these were found in the game files and we can go and anticipate them to actually be in the game itself. So I want to give a huge shout out to a couple people here. Firstly, I want to give a huge shout out to Goodsy on Discord. He was the person who actually data mined all this stuff and is actually providing all the screenshots that I'm going to be showing you guys throughout this video. So huge shout out to him. I want to give a quick shout out to Simsky on Discord. Without him, because he went and provided all of these screenshots to me, so without him I wouldn't have even been able to go and see the majority of this stuff. And then finally, I want to give a huge shout out to the Call of Duty Mobile Update News and Leaks Twitter page for going off some of these weapons that are going to be coming to this game. So these are going to be some of the new weapons. I'm going to go and talk about them right now really fast. So firstly, we have the M60 here, which if I'm not mistaken is the main LMG weapon that was introduced in Call of Duty 4. So that's really exciting. Or maybe it was Black Ops 1. It was one or the other. It was either Call of Duty 4 or Black Ops 1. The M60 was just such an awesome LMG weapon. So going and seeing that into a Call of Duty mobile format is going to be really awesome. This next gun, which is probably my favorite assault rifle of all time, and I'm not joking when I say this too, we have the G36C, which is a Call of Duty 4 assault rifle. And it's weird, it was just one of those guns when I was growing up and playing Call of Duty 4 that I always loved using. So going and seeing it return into Call of Duty mobile, it's definitely going to be a huge nostalgia thing for me, and I would love to go and see, and hopefully it will actually be a solid weapon here too. Going on to the next one, we have the M249 as well as the MK48, which if I'm not mistaken is two other LMG weapons that were in the Call of Duty franchise. I'm trying to remember where they were introduced from, but I can't really remember off the top of my head. Next, we have the Vector as well as the MP7, both two submachine guns. And I do have to say this too, the MP7 was a weapon that a lot of you guys wanted to go and see in Call of Duty Mobile. So it's just really awesome that it's actually here on Call of Duty Mobile. I remember back in the Black Ops 2 days, the MP7 was the main go-to weapon alongside the MSMC. I just remember the iron sight on the MP7 was insane. Like, you didn't have to have any optics on it, like a red dot or anything like that. It was just perfect the way it was. You could put fast mags, extended mag on it, and you'd be pretty much all set to go. And then finally, just going off these two other newly leaked weapons, we have the Barrett 50 cal, which is probably the OG semi-automatic sniper from Call of Duty 4, and then finally the Locust, which I actually made a video talking about a couple weeks ago whenever we got that new Call of Duty mobile trailer. So that's when I went and talked about the Locust, and yes, it is confirmed to be coming soon to Call of Duty mobile, so that's some really exciting stuff. But we're going to start off this whole video by talking about some of the skins here. Now, a lot of the skins that you guys are going to see are skins that aren't super special. We'll be getting towards those skins and talking about them towards the end of this video, but we'll just go and show some of them on screen right here. So, like I said, there's nothing super special about them, as well as with all these guns that you're currently seeing on screen right now too. They aren't any of the new guns that I went and just mentioned here, but I'd have to say probably some of my favorite skins has to be like the Arctic style skin here on like the HG40, for example. And here, I'll try to go and zoom in if I can here. Like this HG40 looking skin with this Arctic thing, this is probably like my favorite skin out of all the other ones. And I do apologize because it's not like it's the best quality thing out there, but still, nevertheless, I really do love how that whole thing looks. And here, I'll try to go and fit it back on screen here so you guys can kind of like see all the other weapons here if I can. But yeah, boom, there we go. Nothing super special about all these guys. Like I mentioned, once again, some of these skins we've already seen before. Like we have the maple leaves, we have the just the red action. So all things that we've kind of seen. We'll go on to the next set of guns here, which is just like you see the Arctic 50, you see the DLQ-33. This is pretty awesome here, like all the bazookas that you can currently see right there too. Them actually having weapon skins, I'm actually totally down for that, especially my favorite one from the bazookas being that Arctic looking one, as well as the maple leaves. Yeah, man, that looks incredible. So these are just some additional skins that we can go and expect on some of these weapons here. We'll go on to the next one. All of these guns we've already seen before. We have just the, I'm forgetting what they're actually called in Call of Duty Mobile, but they're like the model 1887s or whatever. You have the Striker, you have the HS shotgun there as well. So the majority of these are just all going to be shotguns here. But for some of these skins, they haven't been featured on these specific guns yet. So we'll go on to the next set of guns here, which just all, once again, weapons that we've seen before. We have the MW11, we have oh gosh, you know what, some of these weapons I actually have to go back on this list. We have the LSW, which is like the very first one up here on screen for the LMG. We have the RPD, we have the Dredge, or is that the Dredge? That actually looks like the Dredge, which is supposed to be a newly leaked weapon that we can go and expect, but I'm pretty sure that's already a gun that we've seen before in Call of Duty Mobile. I think that's the M4 LMG here for the third row, but still, nevertheless, some of these are just new camos that we can go and expect on these guns, which is some exciting stuff. We'll go on to the next set of weapons here, and this is kind of where we start getting into some new stuff here, which is really exciting. Here, I'll try to go, if I can, show everything on screen here. So firstly, we have the axe there, which is row 1, very first one on the farthest left side there. We have the axe. Look at this thing, and this is confirmed to be a melee weapon here too, because I think I made a video talking about how there was an axe implemented, and a lot of people thought like, oh no, Parker, that's just going to be the tomahawk, that's not it, or just like the throwing knife or whatever. It's not going to be an actual melee. But yes, it has been confirmed that this axe that you guys are seeing here is going to be an actual melee weapon. And then I think like some of these are actually really awesome looking, like especially in the first row, if we go 3 over, if we're going from left to right, that like lava looking skin on that weapon looks really cool. And then I don't know what that other weapon is at the very end there, but that also looks like an interesting looking camo there. We have what would appear to be the Arctic 50 with the lemon drop, so we've already had that one, but I don't think we've already had the one if we're on the second row and we go 1 over from left to right, that fiery looking Arctic 50 skin, or is that the Arctic 50? I don't think so, but still, nevertheless, that looks really awesome. And then, yeah, just going over some of the other ones here, like you actually have weapons for your specialist, maybe? Oh no, that's actually the other rocket launcher. This isn't the Free Fire rocket launcher. This is actually the one that you actually have to go and attach onto like a vehicle or a helicopter or anything like that. So you can't just like freely use those other skins there, or that other whatchamacallit, the rocket launcher. You actually have to go and aim it at like a vehicle in order for it to go and work. But yeah, that's some really exciting stuff. I'm super excited about the axe, so that should be something that will be interesting to go and see. So for these other guns, they're just guns that we've already seen before, but with somewhat different camos on them, very similar to the camos that we have just been going over for the past couple minutes in this video. We have just the zombie gene, some maple leaves, but yeah, like I mentioned, all of these guns we've already seen before in Call of Duty Mobile, so nothing super special, just like Red Tiger on some of them, Zombie Gene on some of them, M16 at the very bottom there, the Type 25 there as well in the middle. So there you have it, just guns that we've seen before as well as skins that we've seen before, but the skins are on guns that we haven't yet seen before. So we'll go on to the next list here, And boom, so now we're starting to get into some new territory here. We have the cheekome in the very top left-hand corner of the first row there. That's looking really awesome. I somewhat like the whiter looking skins there, as well as we have the one that probably pops out the most, which is the bluer ones that you guys are seeing. So all these blue ones we've already seen before, and they're really looking solid on some of these guns, especially like the M4 as well as the PDW. Yeah man, those really pop out, as well as maybe it's just me, but also this AK-47 blue that you guys are seeing in the very first column there. And what row is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the 7th row. Yeah, dude, that AK-47 is looking so awesome. We'll go on to the next weapon list here, and we have some other weapons here that we can go and see. We have the traditional like blue looking skin here that I'm really in love with. This is probably like my favorite alongside, well, so far I should say, because there are a couple other skins that I haven't yet revealed yet, but yeah, that blue looking skin is looking mighty fine. We have what would appear to be like a purplish pinkish type of skin. Don't really know if I'm a super big fan of that, but yeah, these are just some additional skins that we can go and expect in the game. And boom, so here we get into a lot of new things here. This gets me so excited, man. So at the very first row here, you just have a whole bunch of knives. Probably the favorite one out of all of them has to be that blue one. We'll go into the second row. You have the dark matter on what would appear to be the Q33 if I'm not mistaken, which looks absolutely stunning. The third row, you have the bluish looking sniper there as well, which looks mighty fun. You have the LK, which if I'm not mistaken is the name of the assault rifle that looks like the AR or the ACR from Modern Warfare 3. I don't know the exact name, but I'm just gonna go with the ACR for right now. So the blue one really pops out, and that's one that's probably my favorite. Then going on and finishing off the fourth row there, you just have some very interesting, like you have the Arctic 50 as well as the Striker there, and those camos look real. It's weird. It's a weird looking camo, but I kind of like it in a way. But we'll go on to the fifth row here, and I feel like this whole row is very awesome. You have the Razorback, which hasn't been introduced yet into Call of Duty Mobile, but in terms of damage, just like based off some of the stats that we've seen of it so far, it's supposed to be an insane weapon. So cannot wait until that weapon drops. But then we have the M4 if I'm not mistaken. We have the dark matter skin for the camo there as well for the M4, as well as the rainbowish looking color there as well. I really like the dark matter as well as the rainbow. Those are two camos that I would really love to get for those weapons once they drop. We have the Razorback with the dark matter camo on as well. We have an AK-47. Now I don't know if this is just blacked out because it hasn't registered yet, or if it is going to be like an icy looking AK-47 there. I don't really know for sure, but it looks insane if that would actually be the case. We have the Razorback with the rainbow camo, which is looking mighty fun there as well. Going on to the next row, we have just, maybe this is called like the lemon drop. I don't know if this is considered to be the lemon drop, but we have it on the AK-47U. We have like a purplish looking LMG there, as well as like a somewhat bluish looking, I don't know if that's the 48 Dredge. It kind of looks like it in a way, but just going off all these other weapons, nothing super special about them, but we might as well go on to the next row of weapons here. So this is actually getting to some of the good stuff here. So I don't know if any of these weapons are new. I don't know if that sniper kind of looks like the DLQ33. I might be wrong, but we have the HG40 with what I would appear to be the gold skin on it. So I think when it comes to these weapons that you guys are currently seeing, the majority of them are already featured or they're already skins. So we'll just go and move on to the next weapon list here. And oh yeah, man, so this is some exciting stuff. We have the shovel as well as the axe, which are two melee weapons. We have the Bowie knife, which will probably be featured in zombies, so that's really exciting. We have, and gosh, is this a weapon that's already in Call of Duty Mobile? It might be, but we'll go on to row 3. We have the Model 1887, as well as, I would have to imagine the M4 with like a red dot on it, but it's like the skin itself might be new. We have the Death Machine, War Machine, we have the Purifier, and then the MW11. So for the rest of the guns here, nothing really new, but we'll go on to the next one here. So going on to the next one here, we have the AK-74, if I'm not mistaken, from like Black Ops 2, which is really awesome. I would probably say for a lot of these guns, some of them have already been featured. Like you have the saw at the very bottom there, which I don't think has yet been introduced, but you have like weapons like the 48 Dredge. You have the Barrett 50 cal, which is in the very middle row there, all the way being the second weapon. So that's some really exciting stuff to go and seeing in a Call of Duty Mobile. And then finally, finishing off everything that we have here on this list. And oh gosh, this is like the perfect way to end everything here too, if I can go and like zoom in. So you have a whole bunch of knives. Some of these knives we've already seen before. You have some newer-ish looking camos. We have the ASM-10, if I'm not mistaken, with the dark matter. But then if you guys can go and see right here, because there isn't really anything else to really show you guys alongside, like if we're looking at the column number 1, you can see a shotgun, which looks very similar to something like the Remington, and then you have the BY-15, and then the Vector all the way at the very bottom there from MW2, but then it kind of like closing everything out here. If I can go and do this properly without cutting out too much stuff, we can go and, oh yeah, you guys already know what I'm doing here. This is the ray gun, which we'll probably see in the zombies mode for Call of Duty Mobile, and this is some really exciting stuff. And you know what, it would be interesting to go and see too if they happen to go and introduce the ray gun in the Battle Royale section as being like a legendary weapon as well. That would actually be kind of cool, as well as if they can go and include the ray gun but as like a specialist as well. That would also be a pretty neat thing to go and see. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the video today. Thank you oh so very much for tuning in and watching. I'd really love to know in the comment section down below, what was your favorite thing that I showed you on screen, as well as if there is any type of weapon or a skin that you would like to see being implemented into Call of Duty Mobile. Feel free to go and let me know in the comment section down below. But with that said, my name is Parker. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful and fabulous today, because I certainly am. And I guess I'll talk to you guys in the next video.